A practitioner can follow every instruction for years, maintaining perfect discipline and clocking thousands of hours, only to find themselves hitting an unbreakable wall. The progress stops and the path forward vanishes. Most people assume the solution is to double down. They apply more effort, tighten their mental focus, and try to force the mind into a higher state of concentration. Concentration is only the processing core of a larger mechanism. Meditation operates as an interconnected system, relying on biological pathways and environmental inputs. If one layer breaks down, the entire mechanism locks up. Mental effort cannot restart frozen hardware. Breaking through a plateau requires shifting your perspective. You have to stop viewing the mind in isolation and start diagnosing the practitioner as a biological and behavioral machine. We begin with the physical hardware. A structural slump in the spine severs the closed internal circuit, bleeding out energy circulation. Compensating with head-centered attention pulls energy upward. It pools in the brain, creating trapped internal pressure. This physiological error results in chronic tension, recurring headaches, and a systemic energy leakage that prevents the body from reaching a state of balance. Beyond the physical structure, the system requires a constant energy input. Deep practice is resource-heavy. It consumes hours of time and requires a high baseline of physical health and environmental stability. In traditional frameworks, this total pool of supporting conditions is called merit. It is the tangible fuel that allows the internal machine to run. To build this fuel, the practitioner must look outward. Ethical conduct and generosity are not just moral choices, they are behavioral actions that create the essential daily time, the vital physical health, and the stability required to focus. Without structural integrity and these behavioral inputs, the machine is starved of power. Technique becomes irrelevant because the system lacks energy to advance. We then look at the network layer. Many practitioners are stalled by the belief that progress is a purely self-driven internal achievement. This isolated circle represents a closed system. It spins endlessly in place, looping within its own limits. To break the cycle, the system snaps open and connects to external gears. Real breakthroughs require alignment with something beyond the individual self. External input provides the data and orientation needed to navigate past the ego's blind spots. Finally, there is the deepest layer of constraint, karmic obstruction. This functions like a hidden software glitch buried deep in the practitioner's operating system. Accumulated karmic load creates a hard block on specific developmental stages. When the system encounters these unresolved actions, further progression becomes impossible. Think of it like leveling up in a game. If the system requires clearing specific enemies before you can move to the next area, no amount of grinding elsewhere will trigger the advancement. You must resolve the specific obstacle before the software allows the next stage to load. Isolating the mind from external support while ignoring these deep software blocks creates an artificial ceiling. No amount of intense internal focus can ever breach a barrier that exists fundamentally at the system level. Progression resumes when these three pillars are leveled and functioning as a unified circuit. The biology layer requires you to manage oxygen levels, optimize blood circulation, and maintain a posture that keeps the internal circuit closed. The behavior layer demands a disciplined meditation method, supported by outward ethical actions that stabilize your environment. And finally, the system constraints layer requires resolving your past karmic barriers and opening yourself to external guidance. If your progress has stopped, look away from the cushion. Run a full diagnostic on your biology, your behavior, and your environment. To move forward, you have to repair the machine as a whole.